Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. OK, let's dive into creating a Roblox game mechanic where players need to find and press all the red buttons scattered throughout the game world to achieve a specific goal. This tutorial will cover everything from setting up the button models, scripting the interaction, tracking progress, and providing feedback to the player. We'll also explore some variations and optimizations. Core concept **. The player explores the game world, finds hidden or strategically placed red buttons, and interacts with them. Each button press contributes to a progress tracker. When all the buttons have been pressed, the player triggers an event, example opens a door, receives a reward, wins the game. Step 1. Setting up the environment. 1. Open Roblox Studio ** launch Roblox Studio and create a new place, or use an existing one. 2. Create the buttons **. Go to the Model tab in the Studio toolbar. Click on Part to create a basic block. Rename in the Explorer window, usually on the right, rename the part to red button. This is crucial for identifying the buttons in the script. Appearance in the Properties window, usually below the Explorer, set the following properties. Color, set the color to bright red, or your preferred shade. Material, choose a material like plastic or smooth plastic for a clean look. Size, adjust the size to a reasonable button size, example vector 3.new, 2, 0.5, 2. The y-axis, middle number, determines the height. Anchored, set to true. This prevents the button from falling through the floor. Can collide, set to true. This allows the player to interact with it. Add a click detector **. In the Explorer window, right-click on red button. Select Insert Object and search for click detector. Add it to the red button. Rename the click detector to button detector. This helps to know that it's the part of the button that detects the clicks. Final red button structure *. Your red button part should look like this in the Explorer. Repeat for multiple buttons *. Duplicate the red button part, Ctrl+D or CMD+D, to create more buttons. Move them to different locations around your game world. The more buttons you have, the greater the challenge. 3. Create a folder, optional, but recommended. In the Explorer window, right-click on Workspace. Select Insert Object and choose Folder. Rename the folder to red buttons. Organize drag all of your red button parts into the red buttons folder. This keeps your workspace tidy. Step 2. Scripting the button interaction. We'll use a server-side script to handle the button clicks, keep track of the number of pressed buttons, and trigger the event when all buttons are pressed. 1. Insert a server script **. In the Explorer window, right-click on Server Script Service. Select Insert Object and choose Scripture. Rename the script to Button Handler. 2. The script * paste the following code into the Button Handler script. 3. Explanation of the code **. Red buttons folder equals workspace wait for child, red buttons. This line waits for the red buttons folder to load into the workspace. This is important because if the script runs before the folder is created, it will throw an error. Red buttons equals red buttons folder get children, gets all the red button parts inside the red buttons folder. Buttons pressed equals 0, initializes a variable to keep track of how many buttons have been pressed. Total buttons equals red buttons, calculates the total number of buttons in the game. All buttons pressed event, This creates a remote event object. Remote events allow the server to communicate with the client. This is important because the server is responsible for tracking the state of the game, but the client is responsible for rendering the game and displaying feedback to the player. We parent this to replicated storage because both the client and server need to access it. Asterisk on button clicked, player, button. This function is called when a button is clicked. It takes the player who clicked the button and the button that was clicked as arguments. Asterisk it checks if the button argument is valid and if it has the name red button. Asterisk it disables the click detector to prevent the button from being clicked multiple times. This is important to avoid exploits and unintended behavior. Asterisk it increments the button's pressed counter. Asterisk it changes the appearance of the button to indicate that it has been pressed. Optional, but good feedback. Asterisk it checks if all buttons have been pressed. If so, it prints a message to the console and fires the all buttons pressed event. Asterisk for underscore, button in appears, red buttons, do, and, this loop iterates over all the red button parts in the red buttons table and connects the mouse click event of each button's click detector to the on button clicked function. Asterisk print, button handler script initialized. Total buttons. Total buttons, prints a message to the console to indicate that the script has been initialized. Useful for debugging. Step 3, client-side feedback, optional, but recommended. To give the player visual or auditory feedback when all the buttons are pressed, you can use a local script. 1. Insert a local script asterisk. Asterisk in the Explorer window, right-click on Starter Player Scripts. Asterisk select Insert Object and choose Local Script. Asterisk rename the script to All Buttons Feedback. To the script asterisk paste the following code into the All Buttons Feedback script. 3. Explanation asterisk. Asterisk replicated storage equals game gets service, replicated storage, gets the replicated storage service. Asterisk all buttons pressed event equals replicated storage wait for child, all buttons pressed, waits for the all buttons pressed event to be created in replicated storage. Asterisk on all buttons pressed, this function is called when the all buttons pressed event is fired by the server. Asterisk it prints a message to the client console. Asterisk it creates and plays a sound, optional. Important asterisk replace ///000000000 with the actual asset ID of a sound from the Roblox library, or your own uploaded sound. You can find sound IDs in the toolbox. Asterisk it creates a simple GUI to display a victory message to the player, optional. The GUI is created dynamically and parented to the player's player GUI. Asterisk all buttons pressed event. On client event connect, on all buttons pressed, this line connects the on client event of the all buttons pressed event to the on all buttons pressed function. This means that when the server fires the all buttons pressed event, the on all buttons pressed function will be called on the client. Asterisk the debris add item parts automatically clean up the sound and GUI after a few seconds. This prevents accumulating instances in the game and impacting performance. Step 4, testing. 1. Play the game asterisk click the play button in Roblox Studio to test your game. 2. Find and click asterisk explore the game world, find the red buttons, and click them. 3. Console output asterisk check the output window, view output, for messages indicating which buttons have been pressed and when all buttons have been pressed. 4. Client feedback asterisk verify that the sound plays and the GUI appears when all the buttons are pressed. Variations and enhancements. Asterisk button reset asterisk you could add a mechanism to reset the buttons after a certain time or when a new player joins. This would involve re-enabling the click detector and resetting the appearance of the buttons. Asterisk button order asterisk require the buttons to be pressed in a specific order. You would need to track the order in the script and only allow the next button to be pressed. Asterisk hiding the buttons asterisk make the buttons more difficult to find by hiding them behind objects, inside rooms, or in areas that require some exploration. Asterisk progress indicator asterisk create a GUI element that shows the player how many buttons they have pressed so far, example buttons pressed, 3/5. Asterisk team-based asterisk if you have a team-based game, track button presses per team and reward the team that presses all the buttons first. Asterisk cooldowns asterisk add a cooldown to the buttons so that they can't be pressed too quickly in succession. Asterisk animations asterisk animate the button when it's pressed, example scale it down slightly. Asterisk visual effects asterisk add particle effects or other visual cues when a button is pressed. Asterisk save progress asterisk use data store service to save the player's progress in pressing the buttons, so they can continue where they left off. Code example, progress indicator GUI. Here's an example of how to add a progress indicator GUI. 1. Add a screen GUI and text label asterisk. Asterisk in the Explorer window, right-click on Starter GUI. Asterisk select Insert Object and choose Screen GUI. Asterisk rename the Screen GUI to Button Progress GUI. Asterisk inside Button Progress GUI, insert a text label. Asterisk rename the text label to Progress Label. Asterisk in the Properties window for Progress Label. Asterisk size, set to something like udim2.new, 0.3, 0, 0.1, 0. Asterisk position, set to something like udim2.new, 0.05, 0, 0.05, 0. Asterisk background transparency, set to 1. Asterisk text scaled, set to true. Asterisk text color 3, choose a color that stands out. 2. Update the server script, button handler. Modify the button handler script to include a remote function to update the client's GUI. 3. Update the client script, in all buttons feedback or a separate local script under starter player scripts. Create a local script inside starter player scripts or add to your existing client script. Explanation of the progress indicator code asterisk. Asterisk server-side asterisk. Asterisk a remote function called update progress is created. Remote function allows communication where the server sends information and expects a reply. Asterisk when a button is pressed, update progress function invoke client, player, buttons pressed, total buttons, is called. This sends the current button count and the total button count to the client that pressed the button. Asterisk the onServer invoke function for the remote function generates the text to display on the client. Asterisk client side asterisk. Asterisk the client gets a reference to the remote function. Asterisk a function update GUI is defined to update the text label of the progress GUI. Asterisk update progress function. On client invoke function receives the information sent from the server and calls the update GUI function to update the text label with the new progress. Asterisk the GUI is initialized after the game is loaded, so that there are no loading errors. Important considerations asterisk. Asterisk security asterisk always validate data received from the client on the server to prevent exploits. For example, you could check if the player is actually close to the button they claim to have pressed. Asterisk performance asterisk avoid excessive looping or complex calculations on the server, especially if you have many players. Asterisk user experience asterisk provide clear feedback to the player about their progress and the goal of the game. This comprehensive tutorial should give you a solid foundation for creating a Find All Red Buttons game mechanic in Roblox. Remember to test your game thoroughly and iterate on the design to create a fun and engaging experience for your players. Good luck.